In the resplendent corridors of the kingdom of Nuzantralithia, where opulence dripped like honey from the lips of every royal decree, a new symphony began to play, one not of music or truth, but of curated acclaim and digitally conjured ovation. It was not the people's voice that echoed across the enchanted land, but rather the orchestrated hum of praise chants meticulously crafted by the high order of buzzeromancers, sorcerers of spin and illusion who pledged allegiance not to reality, but to perception. For what is power? The sovereign general rhetorically inquired, if not the ability to compel applause without merit and awe without scrutiny. It was thus that the Grand Treasury, whose vaults once financed roads paved with purpose and scrolls inked with knowledge, discreetly rechanneled its gold into ethereal contracts. Billions of royal florins paid not for arms, nor armor, but for algorithmic enchantments. These were subtle yet potent incantations, designed to enchant the minds of commoners into believing that valiant deeds had been performed, even where none existed beyond press releases and polished uniforms. Each coin spent summoned legions of digital familiars, faceless phantoms that conjured adulation, diffused dissent, and turned mockery into martyrdom for the benefit of the high command. Of course, the endeavor was not called propaganda, for such a crude term would sully the noble endeavor of narrative crafting. Instead, it was poetically christened strategic public harmony enhancement. The buzzeromancers, hired at prices that would shame even the dragon-slaying knights of yore, were lauded for their contributions to national morale, as though morale were a commodity to be bought by the terabyte. They spun tales wherein the general of the realm was not merely a steward of military might, but a paragon of democratic tenderness, who wept silently for the people while commissioning parades in his honor. Meanwhile, the citizens, lulled by waves of repeated enchantments, found their dissent transmuted into gratitude, their questions into confusion. Each utterance of critique was swiftly drowned in floods of automated applause, conjured by the very gold that had once funded their children's classrooms and their grandparents' healing drafts. "Is this not prosperity?" asked the Royal Ministry of Civic Perception, gesturing toward metrics of trending hashtags and enchanted engagement charts. And few could answer, either out of fear or simply because their thoughts had been overwritten by an illusion louder than truth. A few skeptical scribes, still untouched by the spells, dared to inquire why so many scrolls of coin had been offered unto these illusionists while the bridges of the eastern provinces collapsed under their own forgotten weight. But their inquiries, though noble, were swiftly branded as the whispers of agents of chaos and misaligned minds. For in Nuzantralithia, where perception preceded reality and echo triumphed over dialogue, the most grievous sin was not waste, nor deceit, but the refusal to clap when ordered. Ironically, the knights of the realm, those once clad in steel and valor, now found their reputations more protected by hashtags than by honor, more feared on the battlefield of comment sections than on the front lines of defense. The citizenry was told they were safe, not because of strategic brilliance or seasoned leadership, but because their protectors had achieved trending topic supremacy across all major magical media platforms. The generals, pleased with their mirrored reflections in the palace's enchanted screens, declared their mission a grand success. The people loved them, or at least, enough simulated people did to make it indistinguishable. And so, the tale goes that in the hallowed and bewitched halls of the kingdom of Nuzantralithia, the line between narrative and nation was erased by the soft tapping of invisible fingers and the alchemy of perception. The treasury was emptied not by war, nor plague, but by applause, unearned and infinite. And beneath the spellbound cheer, the realm slumbered, draped in velvet illusions, unaware that the greatest threat had never come from outside the gates, but from within the echo chamber of its own engineered esteem.